News from around the globe. Hot, fresh, balanced and objective. On Unity.
Hello and welcome to News Hour on Unity TV. The headlines. President Muhammadu Buhari will sign the 2023 appropriation bill on Tuesday, Senate President Lowell disclosed. Federal government to review allowance, not salaries in Gige, clarifies. 2023 election, McBan denied endorsing any presidential candidate or political party in the race. And on the foreign scene, North Korea ends year with ballistic missiles launch. And in sports, Ronaldo to earn over £177 million per year at Al Nasser of Saudi Arabia. And those were the headlines, and for details and more of the stories, I am Ruqayyat Sani Ibrahim. Senate President Ahmed Lawal on Friday said that President Muhammadu Buhari will sign the 2023 appropriation bill on Tuesday, January 3, 2023. Lawal revealed this after a closed-down meeting with the President of the State House, Abuja. The Senate President, who arrived at the State House minutes before 3 o'clock p.m., discussed Buhari's recent additional loan request and the 2023 appropriation bill. According to him, he regretted that the signing was a bit late, unlike the previous year. Signed on December 31st, he said a seamless working relationship between the executive and the legislature has regularized the signing of the appropriation bill since 2018, resulting in a predictable January to December budget for our country. According to him, this pattern set by the federal government has trickled down to the states, most of whom now pass their annual budgets and are sent to them before the new year. The federal government on Friday said that what is being reviewed was some peculiar allowance of both the civil and public servants and not salaries, as was recently reported. This was contained in a statement by Olajido Oshundun, Head Deputy Director of Press and Public Relations, Unit of the Federal Ministry of Labor and Employment. The statement quoted the Minister of Labor and Employment, Senator Chris Ngige, of saying that there will be no salary adjustment without the input of leadership of the organized labor in accordance with the Collective Bargain Agreement (CBA). The minister reassured that the committee is optimistic that Mr. President will receive and consider the recommendations before the end of the fourth quarter in 2023. Operatives of Ogun State Command of Nigeria Police in the early hours of Friday have arrested two brothers, Ayomide Babatunde and Benga Babatunde, for kidnapping a woman and her 9-year-old son for ritual purpose. The command spokesman Abimbola Oyeyemi disclosed this in a statement made available to newsmen in Abeokuta, Ogun State. Oyeyemi said the suspects were arrested following an information received by policemen at Odan Divisional Headquarters. According to him, the two brothers were negotiating on phone to sell a human being either in parts or alive, depending on how the buyer wants it for money-making ritual. Meanwhile, the State Commissioner of Police, Lanre Bankole, has ordered that the suspect be transferred to State Criminal Investigative Department for further investigations and diligent prosecution. The Katsina State Police Command said it succeeded in killing 54 bandits and rescued 122 kidnapped victims from January to December 2022, even as it lost 5 of its operatives in the bid to restore peace and order to areas prone to banditry in the state. Within the period under review, the command recorded 1,102 arrests from 705 reported cases, out of which 989 are still undergoing prosecution. Katsina State Commissioner of Police Shehu Nadada disclosed this to newsmen during the State Command's end-of-year press conference on Tuesday. A breakdown of the arrests as presented by the Commissioner of Police showed that 266 suspects were arrested in connection with rape and unnatural offenses, 241 in connection with banditry, and 177 in connection with armed robbery, among others. Other arrests made within the period include 71 suspected vandals, 21 suspected illicit drug traffickers and suppliers of drugs to bandits, NADADA also disclosed that its operations rescued 277 kidnapped victims and recovered 35 firearms, comprising 14 AK-47 rifles and 21 locally made guns, as well as 81 rounds of 6.22 mm ammunition in the same vein. The Katsina State Commissioner of Police said 1,092 domestic animals consisting of 727 cows and 370 sheep and goats were recovered. Ahead of the forthcoming 2023 presidential election, the Miyetti Allah Cattle Breeders Association of Nigeria, MAGBAN, has said that it has not endorsed any presidential candidate or political party in the race. The national president of MAGBAN, Alhaji Baba Usman Ingel Zarma, who made this known at a press briefing on Friday in Abuja, noted that there were two Miyetti Allah groups, which are the Miyetti Allah Cattle Hore and the Miyetti Allah Cattle Breeders Association of Nigeria, MAGBAN, which is the one he represents. He said that as far as their MAGBAN was concerned, they have not endorsed any presidential candidate and that they were still waiting for all the presidential candidates to answer their questions on the 7-point demand which they raised and presented to them. He further said that all the major political parties have not included the challenges facing the Nigerian pastoralists in their manifestos, which has made it impossible for them to endorse any candidate. MAGBAN president said that he went through the manifestos and blueprints of the political parties and did not see anything that has to do with the livestock family. He further explained that some of their members are registered members of APC, while some are in PDP, Labour Party, NNPP, PRP, and other political parties, and that no interest group is in Nigeria will not be found among them. The police command in Katsina State said 1,102 suspects were arrested in connection The police command in Katsina State
Unity.
Despite the rumor pact between the G5 governors and the presidential candidates of the All Progressives Congress APC, Governor Ifeanyi Okowa of Delta State on Friday declared that God has ordained his party, the People's Democratic Party PDP, to win next year's election. Okowa, who is the vice presidential candidate of the PDP, insisted that the actions of the splinter G5 governors and their supporters will not determine the outcome of the election. He predicted that there will be division among the rank of the aggrieved governors and their supporters. Okowa, however, expressed confidence that the 5 governors will put the past behind them and work for the victory of PDP in the 2023 general elections. The governor was addressing a campaign rally at the PDP at Abo in Ndokwa, East Local Government Area of Delta State. Okowa charged the people to embark on house-to-house markets to market campaign to convince the people to support PDP's rescue mission. He said the ticket of Atiku and Okowa will bring about economic boom, united Nigeria, where the economy will be private sector driven and restoring that will make money available for states and local governments to embark on projects. Rivers State Governor Nyesom Wike Ezenwu has challenged those threatening to expel him from the People's Democratic Party PDP to go ahead and try it if they can. Governor Wike gave the challenge at the Enaka Road roundabout venue of the flag-off ceremony for the construction of Enaka Igbo Eteche Road dualization project, which Wike insisted that he is unperturbed about the threat of expulsion. However, wondered why those desiring to expel him are displaying anxiety instead of acting out their threat and see if they will survive it. The Rivers State Governor also reiterated the minimum demand of the members of the G5 group, which is the resignation of Dr. Iyochia Ayu as national chairman of PDP to allow for a Southerner to occupy the office. In retrospect, Governor Wike recalled how Between 2002 and 2003, former President Olusegun Obasanjo knelt down to beg his then vice, now PDP presidential candidate Alhaji Atiku Abubakar to support his second-term bid and the conditions the latter gave to him. He expressed surprise over the undying interest by those who said they have moved ahead and do not need the G5 group to win the 2023 election. He wondered why those antagonists to the G5 are always sniffing around to uncover any latest move made by the group. Akwai State Police Command has arrested one Akaniyeni Okonkon for allegedly beating his 16-year-old daughter Obasiono Akaniyeni Sunday to death. The Commissioner of Police, Mr. Olatoyo Durusimi, said the suspect was arrested by operatives of Ikot Ebo Divisional Headquarters following credible information. Durosimi spoke on Friday while parading the suspect alongside 195 other suspects arrested by the command for various offenses including kidnapping, theft, cultism and pipeline vandalism at the police headquarters Ikot Agbanabia, Uyo. While fielding questions from newsmen, Akaniye Sunday Okonkon, who allegedly beat his daughter to death, said he could not have killed his daughter. He said his daughter died from a stomach upset. Gunmen have abducted a female soldier in Imo State, Nigeria Southeast. The victim, identified simply as Pipi Johnson, was abducted on 26 December while visiting her grandmother in Ako, a community in Okigwe local government area of the state, which shares a boundary with Abia State. The victim was said to have visited the region for the Yuletide. A video clip circulating on various WhatsApp groups showed the female officer being tortured by the gunmen in a thick forest. In the clip, one of the gunmen was heard threatening to kill the female officer for being a member of the Nigerian army. He warned youths from the region against joining the military and other security agencies. The soldier was stripped with her hands and legs tied by the gunmen, who also forced her to sit on the ground in the forest. Army spokesperson Onyema Nwachukwu, in a statement on Friday, said the victim was abducted shortly after completing her cadet training and subsequent commissioning as a lieutenant into the army. Mr. Nwachukwu, a brigadier general, said the report suggesting that the abducted soldier had been rescued by security agencies was untrue. He vowed that the military would leave no stone unturned in its effort to rescue the officer and bring the abductors to book. The army person accused the outlawed indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, and its militant wing, Eastern Security Network, ESN, of being behind the abduction of the female soldier. And on the foreign scene, North Korea has fired 3 short-range ballistic missiles toward the sea to the east of the Korean peninsula. South Korea's military says the latest volley comes 5 days after North Korea flew drones into South Korea's airspace for the first time since 2017. North Korea has launched more missiles this year than ever before. Washington said the latest missile launches do not pose an immediate threat to the U.S. or its allies. South Korea's Joint Chiefs of Staff said the 3 short-range ballistic missiles were fired from around 8:00 local time from North Hwanghae province, south of the capital Pyongyang. They added that North Korea's ballistic missiles launch is a grave provocation that undermines peace and stability on the Korean peninsula as well as the international community. The missiles flew about 350 kilometers, the South Korean military said. Japan Coast Guard earlier said 1 missile had fallen into the sea. And in sports, Cristiano Ronaldo reportedly received the biggest football salary in history at more than £177 million per year after signing for Al Nassr. The 37-year-old joined the Saudi Arabian side on a deal that runs until 2025. The Portugal captain, is a free agent after leaving Manchester United following a controversial interview in which he criticized the club. Ronaldo says he is eager to experience a new football league in a different country. According to BBC Sport, Al Nassr, 9-time Saudi Pro League champions, described the signing as history in the making. With this story, we come to the end of our bulletin for today. You can follow us on our social media handles at Facebook, Instagram and Twitter at Unity Radio FM TV, respectively. My name is Rukayat Sani Ibrahim. Thank you for watching and enjoy the rest of our programs. Unity.
Unity.